Hey everybody, this is Ep.1 Gaming with Episode 1, Match number 3 with Sultai Wilderness Teachings. This is a deck designed primarily by FTZZMTG on Magic Online. It is built around the power of Wilderness Reclamation, Mystical Teachings, and Cryptic Command. And I just want to give a special thanks to everybody in the channel that's been helping us grow. We are up to 500 subscribers. That's awesome. Now on to the drive for 1,000 so we can get monetized and start doing more with the channel. It's definitely my goal. My goal is to eventually become the largest modern Magic the Gathering channel on YouTube. For that right now, we're working on Sultai Teachings, Arclight Phoenix decks, and Burn. I'm working on learning the Sultai Teachings deck. And as I was saying too, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe before I get back into this deck tech. So, deck is built around abusing the extra mana from Wilderness Reclamation and using Mystical Teachings to go get various silver bullets. Eventually, you use Cryptic command chains to kind of lock your opponent down, get a bunch of card advantage, and then start looping Nexus of Fate to kill your opponent with Snapcasters or Cripping Tar Pits, or you get all three Wilderness Reclamations in play and just kind of Blue Sun Zenith your opponent out of the game. Beyond that, you got some Fatal Pushes, Abrupt Decays, Assassin's Trophies, Devour Fleshes to deal with various creatures. Obviously, Assassin's Trophy and Abrupt Decay have other utility in various matchups. I will link to his deck tech where he explains each individual card choice. I'm just kind of going over the Cliff Notes version. Each card has a specific purpose why it's in the deck, especially with Mystical Teachings. 4 Growth Spiral to kind of accelerate you into your Wilderness Reclamation, help you hit land drops faster, cantrip through your deck. Opt also helps you get through your deck pretty quickly. Spell Snare, pretty decent against a lot of decks in the format. Remands kind of helps you buy you time, disrupt your opponent a little bit. Snapcaster Mages to snap back all this various instant speed goodness. Pulse of Marasso to get more lands drops with your fetch lands. Also allows you to rebuy your Snapcaster Mages, kind of like a Green Kulligan's command in this deck. 4 copies of Cryptic command. This thing slices, it dices, it taps your creatures down, it bounces your Snapcaster Mages back to your hand, it draws you cards. This is your coup de grace, so to speak. Nexus of Fate. Obviously, we know what this very, very broken instant speed card does in Standard. With Mystical Teachings, you really only have to run a 1-of to kind of close out the game, and honestly, you don't need to take all the turns. Usually, I found with a couple snappies or some Creeping Tar Pits and a Wilderness Reclamation in play, 1 or 2 copies of Nexus is usually enough. Logic Knot is additional efficient counterspell, and then Blue Sun Zenith both to draw yourself a million cards, when you Teachings for a Zenith, or also Finisher to kind of kill your opponent. So this is probably 78% of the times used to refill your hand to capacity, and then the other 20% is usually killing your opponent. Sideboard, Ceremonious Rejection for any type of Tron decks, any type of Whir decks, anything with that. It's very efficient against the Eldrazi decks, etc. Dispels for anything with instant speed stuff going on, helps protect your creatures, helps protect your Wilderness Reclamations against things like Nature's Claim, comes in against Control and Combo. Nimble Obstructionist can be a stifle effect and can also be another threat. Surgical Extraction, it's kind of your out against the various land things of the format. That in conjunction with, Assassin's Trophy or the one of Field of Ruin. A couple Fatal Pushes here for the faster creature decks, things like Humans, things like Burn, etc. Echoing Decay, very similar matchups, also comes in against the Phoenix decks to be able to tag a bunch of Phoenixes. Cryptic Incursion can gain you a bunch of life against the various creature decks, against all the aforementioned name decks, as well as Dredge. Hero's Downfall helps deal with problematic planeswalkers and tougher to kill creatures. Consume the Meek comes in against the faster creature decks. Fracturing Gust, pretty good against anything with a bunch of artifacts and enchantments, so Bogles, Whir decks, Hardened Scales, Affinity, etc. Life Goes On, pretty good against the burn and aggressive decks, especially when you're able to Snapcaster, Fatal Push, and then Life Goes On, gaining 8 life, having killed your opponent's creature. And Shadow of Doubt for any time your opponent has a bunch of search effects, decks like Amulet Titan, decks like Tron, decks like any of that kind of stuff. Shadow of Doubt can be a very effective card. So I think we're going to step up our game and try to play a 2-man queue, see how badly we get crushed in this event. But this will be our last one for the current set of videos. I tend to go a little bit shorter with the control decks if I'm not doing a league, because obviously the control decks, it takes a lot longer to make a control video than Arc Lighter Burn, so it is a bit of a press on time. 5 lands, opt. Sure, I guess we'll try to keep it. Let's play that and pass. So we're not sure what we're up against and what we need to be looking for yet. So looks like we're up against either some style of free win deck or Skred. I'm going to go ahead and shock this in. I want to find a Remand or something here. Spell Snare is only good against the card, specifically Chalice of the Void, if they're running that. And if they happen to be Skred, this will be decent against Mind Stone, which can slow them down. So, yep. Teaching's not bad. So if we can go this turn without our opponent deploying a Blood Moon will be good. Just going to go ahead and snap back and opt here. Love to find a Remand or something. Abrupt Decay, or there's a Remand, that's nice. These kind of mid-range decks, as long as they can't really hit us with a the best shot. Oh, fire away. These are the kind of decks we really should Sweltering Suns, sure. But yeah, definitely Skred. So if they don't deploy anything we care about here, we can just teachings. If they do, we can just kind of... Actually, do I even care about... Yeah, I should just go ahead and remand that. Alright, Zenith, something to build towards. Fatal Push, kind of Garbo in this particular matchup. So Remand's basically a time walk. Stormbarf, huh? That one's going to be a little bit more difficult to answer. Alright, Gristbrawl's not terrible here. I'm going to just pass here. Sure. Teachings for what? Cryptic command here? Alright, so we know our opponent has both Cough of the Hammer. It's like a... Okay, activating that, sure. Fatal Pushes are all dead cards, Mouth of Ronums, whatever. Relic, sure. Relic resolves. I'm an Abrupt Decay for that. Counter target spell. Why did I target my own land? That's kind of dumb. Sure. I meant to target the relic, but, you know, whatevs. It's definitely punts into punts. Hopefully this is just Koth. Yep, Koth resolves. Take down for mana. Let's go ahead and take the shot for 4. Eternal Scourge. Kill that. Koth is very obnoxious here. Yep. What on earth is your last card? Stormburf? Yep. Unfortunately, I don't think we have time to deal with all this stuff. So I think because of my misplays, I'm just dead here. So I can do that. Snapcaster back. Yeah, we're just dead here. Too much crap to try to deal with. Cards didn't line up right. Spell Snare ain't great. They can still potentially get us with Blood Moon that game. We definitely want that. Probably interested in Nimble Obstructionist. Dispels. They really don't have a whole lot of that going on. So, Rejection, no. Dispel, no. Snare, not really. Surgical, no. Fatal Push, eh. Echoing. Fracturing Gust, maybe. It's a little ambitious against some of their stuff, though. do have bolts and Skred, but that's not really relevant in this matchup. So what is the last card? Shadow of Doubt, maybe? Just as a cycler. Alright, I mean... if we find a Remand or something, which should be good. Remand, Logic Knot. They could have, like, Relic here on one. Yep. Relic's gonna be annoying, but it's beatable. It was a misstep on my part. Thought that came into play untapped. It comes into play tapped, of course. Let me find a Remand or something here. Please don't have a Blood Moon. That's cute. Grab a Forest here. Wilderness Reclamation with a bunch of cryptic commands in hand. Eventually our opponent's going to have to pop this relic. Blood Moon, huh? Wow. So 6 mana, 12 mana. That's kind of convenient. Blow that up for no value. I mean, technically they get to grab a Verdant Catacombs. So just get rid of Ghost Spiral here. Now the engine's unlocked. So one's gonna jam Chandra into this? Alright, sure. target spell, draw a card. Wilderness Reclamation. Tap. Untap. Teachings. Grab another teachings. Teachings. Grab a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Grab the 4th cryptic command for right now. And then pass turn. It's probably a more efficient way to go about this, but, you know, whatevs. Time walk. Untap. Untap. Flashback. Mystical teachings. Grab. Final mystical teachings. Teachings. Grab. Zenith. Pass turn. Jam, 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 jam. Kinda yosht. Alright. Alright, now we're on the draw, which makes our position even more annoying. Opponent showed us Ricochet Trap. So, how deep down that rabbit hole do we go? Maybe cut the Shadow of Doubt and bring in 1 copy of Dispel. What else would we go down, though? Maybe the Field of Ruin, since that doesn't really serve a ton of purpose in the matchup. Well, I mean, I guess we keep. Turn 1 relic? Nope, no turn 1 relic. Alright. Could get turn 2 Blood Moon, I guess. They have Simian Spirit Guide. Sure, I don't care about Bolt to the Face. Alright, Mind Stone. It's kind of annoying. Gonna have to remand something this turn or opt, so we're good there. Those cards that are semi-problematic if it resolves. We have both Remand and Growth Spiral if they decide to cast nothing here. I need a land. Alright. That should pretty much lock up the game here. Fortunately, they didn't have... Got to turn 4, got to do our thing. And we have a cryptic command, finally deal with that Pia for permanently. Eternal Scourge, yeah, that's whatever. Go ahead and counter that, draw a card. Engine online. Draw a card, put another land into play. I think we're going to go grab us a Dispel. Seems a little loose here, but I just don't want to lose a counter war to these guys. Eternal Scourge is kind of whatever. Why would you jam your spell main phase? One unknown card in hand. Come on, opponent. What you got over there, friend? Is this the old Salty McSalterson salt off here? This appears like we... Nope. Alright, sure. Say I didn't board out Pulse of Marasa, right? Since this doesn't target, it does go to the graveyard, which is nice here. So go ahead and fire up this Creeping Tar Pit, start getting them dead. They have a bolt, they have a bolt, I don't really care here. Flashback Teachings for another Teachings here. We'll still have Logic Knot and Dispel up here. Huh? Oh, okay, they're just activating scrying sheets. Sure. So obviously they have a spell on top. Let's grab the Teachings. I think it's too early to be actually activating Tar Pit then. We are ahead, but just barely so. Yep. Sure. Bolts, whatever. Grab other Teachings. Good. Untap. Grab Nexus of Fate. Do this. Good Teachings. Grab. Pass to our opponent here. Let's keep ourselves from randomly getting burned out. That one's just annoying enough, isn't it? Hi. Okay. Opt. Cryptic command. Sign me up. Alright, let's start killing you. Untap. Alright. And apparently we finally lulled our opponent to sleep here. So opponent has seen enough. Alright, so this deck seems pretty sweet, but definitely requires a lot of play practice with the play lines. I mean, obviously we had 3 quick matches, well, relatively quick. So got to see it in action against a combo deck, a mid-range deck, mid-range control deck, and a against a kind of aggro deck. So Deck seems pretty sweet against all those. If you can get to like turn 3 or 4 with Wilderness Reclamation and Mystical Teachings or Cryptic Command, the game seems to end pretty much. So this has been Dust for Dusted on Gaming with episode 1, match number 3, with Sultai Teachings Reclamation. Sultai Reclamation Teachings, however you want to call the deck. It's basically Sultai Mystical Teachings. So this has been Dust for Dusted on Gaming. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I just want to thank everybody for helping us hit 500 subscribers and starting us on a journey to 1,000.